Warrior Nation, welcome back once again to the Warrior Wrap-Up. I'm your host, as always, Sam Eglowitz. I'm here today with a throwback, a legend of Warriors of Wrestling. I'm here with, is Chris Steeler in the room? No, I'm here with the greatest No Limits champion of all time, 5-time champion, Chris Banks. Chris, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Mr. No Limits, Chris Banks.
Excuse me.
Say it the right way.
I'm still new here. Mr. No Limits, Chris Banks. Excuse me.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Mr. No Limits
Nice
Banks.
to meet you on camera.
Hell yeah, we had a brief interaction beforehand, but this is really our first kind of time sitting down, getting to chatting. So, I could sit here and pick your brain for hours. I could ask Mr. No Limits so much. You've been in the ring with some of the greatest that have ever been in Warriors. You've been in there with Homicide. You've been in there with Chris Steeler. You've been in there with Sonny Kiss, who is now performing in AEW. You've been in there with Biggie Biggs, recent Lifetime Warrior Award winner. Jason Karloff. You've been in there with the best of Warriors. So I guess I'll start with that since we're talking about it. Who are some of the guys or girls that you've been in the ring with that have really stuck out to you? Some of the proudest moments, proudest matches of your career, things like that.
Oof, I mean, every time I step in the ring, it's a good opportunity. It was always fun. In Warriors specifically, I love the whole locker. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere. The person I got in the ring with the most and got it on was Joey Ace. I guess that was like my nemesis. Like, big shout out to Joey Ace. So like he had a lot of fun, but it was like, I don't know, every match was different though. Like whoever I went in there with, it was like a different mindset. Like when you said Sonny Kiss, I smiled and laughed because Sonny Kiss, that was actually Sonny Kiss's first, what do you call that? Gimmick match?
For as far like his first
match,
his first No Limits match, or his first kind of
that was his
non-normal
ladder
match? Okay.
So I'm pretty sure because I remember him like being nervous about it and like me kicking it with like, yo, just like hang with me and shit. And like watch that match. That match was pretty dope. Sonny did his thing. You know, like Sonny rocked it. Sonny killed that match. So like that's why when he said Sonny Kiss, that's what came to mind because there's one specific spot that like it was dope. It was dope from the top of the ladder. I ain't gonna give it away. You gotta watch the match to get what I'm saying.
Hell yeah, check that out. So you are a 5-time No Limits champion.
5-time.
Most times anyone has held that championship. So, and for a long time, before I get to the question, you, Mr. No Limits, as you said, right? And that nickname is more than earned. So what was it about the No Limits championship and the No Limits division that kept you coming back? What made you not want to venture into the world championship or the tag championship? And that's no, shade to you. But you really found a home in the No Limits division and a home in that No Limits championship. So what was it about it that drew you to it and kept you there?
I was always like the underdog. That's just always me. Even like when I came into Warriors, like I was brought in for, underdog reasons. I don't want to like break too much K word. So like I was,
fair,
I was brought in from underdog reasons. And like it was just like I was a smaller guy. I'm 6 foot, but like at that time I was like, excuse me, I said I'm 6 foot. I'm 6'1".
Don't undersell yourself. Know your worth.
At that time I was only like 160 pounds. Like I was skinny. To be honest, like I was young, and so whatever. So I knew I wasn't gonna be in no heavyweight division. So when the No Limits division was introduced, like I was in the first No Limits match, and prior to that I was never given a mic. Like I didn't know the owners didn't know me. Like I met the owner on some, like I met Joey on some that's a whole other story. Me and Joey met, but so basically I was just there to be there. So he was like, yo, cut a promo like about the match you're in tonight, and like I just ran off and like I ran my mouth, and I guess like that's what made Joey say, oh shit, who is this guy? And like in that promo I was running my mouth. That's when I said, I am Mr. No Limits, I am Chris Banks, blah 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 blah, and boop, it just stuck on me.
Cutting promos 101.
Yeah. Why I'm better than you 101. Before MJF, that was my shit.
So what was it? So that's how you got started, kind of in the No Limits, right?
Yeah.
So what was it about it what did you like about it? Was it like
It was cool. It was different. It was the underdogs, bro. It wasn't even the violence. Like it was the creativity. Cause like anybody could swing a chair, bro. Anybody could throw somebody through a table. Anybody could use barbed wire. You can do all that. But it was how we were doing it. Like we weren't just, hey, let me pick up this chair and hit this guy with this chair. Like no, we were doing moves with the chair. Like I was putting chairs on guys and jumping off the top 450s or split leggeds or just stuff holding. I remember one time with JT, my old tag team partner. I got the scar on my back. Like I wrapped up barbed wire around myself because I'm an idiot, and then I grabbed the chair and like jumped on the guy, like dumb shit like that. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't so much the hyper violence of it, but it gave you ways to
do different
to
shit.
Innovate and be creative in ways that people on the card in other spots weren't doing.
Yeah, and like at that time, hardcore. I mean, with deathmatch wrestling wasn't really around and shit like that. Like it really wasn't. Look at the timing of when me and JT had the Canadian death match. It was like the bloodiest match in WWE. Like he and I walked away with mad scars all over us. And like look at the year of that. I think that was like probably like 12 years ago or something. So like that was before like the death match shit. You know what I mean? Like we were
Before it became
trying
like as
to do
popular
that.
as it is now.
Yeah, like even if so, we still weren't like. I'm not taking anything away from deathmatch. Big shout out to anybody who does that. Y'all got some fucking heart because I ain't doing that.
Hell
shit. Hell no. But like what I'm saying is like we were doing it different in the sense of it wasn't just using it. It was we were using the stuff to do a wrestling move with it. If that if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. Taking like a bit of that weaponry and a bit of that arsenal and the magical abyss, the magical void full of weapons that is underneath the ring. Taking that and kind of not using it for the sake of just wailing on someone, but for the sake of respecting the art of pro wrestling.
Exactly. Like we were like upgraded spot monkeys.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah, man.
Because like we were still doing spotty shit, but we were involved in accessories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so. Yeah, so it was cool. And like when time came to it, like I've never gotten a Warriors of Wrestling heavyweight title shot. Like that never happened. And it wasn't because like it wasn't Chris Banks wasn't ready for it, because like after a while like I put weight on, I started taking it more serious. I wore trunks. I went for the more professional look. You know what I'm saying? So like I got a gym membership. I got, wow, that takes you a long way. So fucking like from there, like you know what I'm saying, like I started taking stuff more serious, but like so it's just I liked being in the no limits division. Like I was offered like this to go for the title. Like this match, hey, you can probably get a title shot, blah blah blah, and like I respectfully was like, no, that's not where I want to be. It's not that I don't know. To me, it was always cool to be the secondary championship, but have that main event spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because especially like there was a time where like BA Kid, big shout out to you. That's my brother, man. I love you to death. Big shout out. I'm sure you're watching. There was a time where BA Kid was the heavyweight champion of the Warriors, and like at the same time I was the no limits champion of Warriors. And like we used to always like try to like fuck you, I'm gonna make this my you know what I'm saying? This title's gonna mean more. No, fuck you, I'm gonna make this mean more. So like we would compete competitive spirit against each other, but with love.
Try to outdo each other.
Try to outdo each other in our match. Yeah, like make our belts mean more. So like I'm gonna cut this promo like this, make people look at this like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna cut this promo, make it look like this. You know what I'm saying? Like respectfully though, we were doing it. You know what I'm saying? And like this shit, him and Abdul Nasir, like they ran with that 9/11 promo. Like I hated them because that was so dope.
What was that? I wasn't here for that.
9/11. It was Abdul Nasir versus BA. They were like going for the title, whatever, 9/11, whatever.
What year was that?
But I forgot what year that was. Whenever 9/11 fell on a Saturday.
Okay, gotcha. We'll check that later.
Check that later.
Maybe I'll edit the date on here. Yeah,
right here, where it says right here. So like that promo was just so dope. That's another one. Check out that promo. I don't want to give too much away. Go to Warriors of Wrestling YouTube page, warriorswrestling.com. Check out the Abdul Nasir 9/11 promo.
Right here on the Warriors of Wrestling YouTube.
Yo, it's dope.
Is that how you get pops? Right?
Oh,
right here.
I just did a cheap plug without realizing it. warriorsofwrestling.com, youtube.com/WOWTV live.
Right now.
But yeah, so like, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't something that I just loved being in the no limits division, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just cool, it was different. And like what was cool too was like I respectfully, like I was wrestling at other places with Joey's wishes and blessings, I mean, to like defend the no limits belt, you know what I'm saying? And like I was being smart as a champion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, taking it at the part, as I imagine that would go a long way in raising the prestige of the championship as well, right? I know our our World Heavyweight Championship has been defended overseas. Our tag championships have been defended overseas. So having the championship appear, you know, and be defended in as many places as possible is really, really cool. And I like also that you said that you kind of were trying to, you and BA Kid were trying to outdo each other in terms of the prestige of the championships, because that really fits in with the kind of underdog thing that you were talking about that originally drew you to the division, right? Because like the World Heavyweight Championship is supposed to be top championship, you know, maybe the No Limits is a little bit secondary. We'll see what we could do about that, and that's a cool attitude to have, and that's a cool reason to want to keep gravitating toward the No Limits Championship. That's awesome.
Yeah, a few times we actually the No Limits, despite what Dexter says, because obviously he didn't do his history of the No Limits Championship, but the No Limits Championship has been competed plenty of times in the main event as Chris Banks as the champion. And I could be wrong, but I believe, who was the other No Limits champion? Anthony Gamble was the No Limits champion? No, not Anthony.
I don't believe so.
Or Shane Taylor?
I haven't been here
Shane
long
Taylor, not
enough
Shane
to know
Taylor.
these names.
Whoever the fuck.
I still have homework to do when it comes to Warriors. I'm not fully caught up. I'm pretty new here still.
There's another No Limits champion.
Is it recent?
Yeah, like this was recent, like when I was in Warriors, within 5 years, and well, he was. I think Dexter was around, and he was the No Limits champion, and he main evented the show. So I was just like, I don't know. Probably because that's one thing. Like I can't tell you much about Warriors, but I can talk about the No Limits division.
I'm glad you brought up Dexter, because I did want to ask. I know you pop by the training from time to time. We're open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at Fun Station USA in Staten Island for training. So I know you pop around, a couple times a month as you're able. So I'm wondering if you've seen some of the crop of new guys training. I know you come to the shows as well quite often to sit back and enjoy, catch up with the locker room and stuff. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on kind of the current crop of guys, current crop of girls, the trainees, some of the guys that we're seeing on the show right now. Dexter, you mentioned making waves. E-Rock, Chris Steeler, the current No Limits champion. Joey Ace, fresh off a world championship.
Boo that man! Boo! Boo!
Some people do.
I love you, Poppy.
We got a corner of the crowd that kind of usually is not that happy to see him, to say the least. I do too. So what do you think of some of the crop of guys that are here now?
That's cool though. I like Dexter. He could work. He's here all the time. Every time I come, he's here training, busting his ass. Max, Roger Mendez.
Max Bain, you mean?
Yeah,
right?
Max
Gotcha.
Bain.
I figured.
Roger Mendez. I don't know the gimmick name, so I don't want to start naming people.
What's a gimmick name? What? A gimmick name?
What's a gimmick name?
So
but you mentioned Steeler. Me and Steeler, we go way back. I love Steeler, bro. I honestly, I look at Steeler and I'm always like, how the fuck is this guy not signed? Like,
yeah,
good personality.
Yeah,
works his ass off. Could fucking wrestle his ass off.
He's a leader in the locker room.
I got nothing but good things to say about him. Real talk. Like I've known Steelers for a fucking long time, probably before even Warriors was a thing. I've known Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Like I always looked at Steelers like he's the guy that's gonna make it. I don't know how the fuck he's not signed, but that's just mind blows me every time. Like every time Steelers' name comes up, I'm just like, how the fuck is he not signed?
And I don't think he's even in his prime yet, from what I see. I don't know exactly how old he is, but it seems like he's not slowing down even a little bit. And every time I see him, he gets better and better. I started coming to Warrior shows as a fan maybe around 2016, 17, and he was here then. And I see him now. He's evolved his look. He always evolves his catchphrases, his nicknames. He's constantly evolving.
He invests in himself. He invests in himself so much, and like he looks like, he looks like a somebody.
He absolutely
You just look at him, he looks like, I'm like, how the fuck is this guy?
He absolutely does.
How am I not watching this guy on TV? Like, that just fucks my head up all the time, but...
You could say, all you want about who he associates himself with. He's been allied with Scotty Priest recently. He got a little physical with me.
I love Scotty Priest. Did he? Also, you probably deserved it, then. You probably deserved it. You see, Scotty's one of my brothers, but I love Scotty. Yeah, Scotty got a lot of history. A lot of history. So if Scotty had to put his hands on you, you deserved it.
So he wears this shirt. It's like a crop top almost. It's his little shirt, and it says Steelers, and it's got his job title because he works for Chris Steeler.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Steelers special undercover keeper enforcer rules. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it spells out sucker.
What?
And it says in big.
No, it doesn't.
It says Steelers sucker, and then all the acronym over here.
No.
And so I said it, and he just.
You see, that's your fault. But like, why would you say some shit like that?
That's his title.
That's his title. You got to call him a sucker for wearing his title. That's pretty shitty.
It's like calling, I guess. It's like calling a cheap Chief Executive Officer, CEO. It's the acronym. It's what it stands for. You know, I didn't think.
All right. If you went to the Southampton Institution of Technology, would you like if people tell you you go to a shit school?
I suppose not. I guess maybe I see what you're saying. So maybe there's a degree of discretion.
Don't do that, yes.
Okay, I see. That makes total sense.
Scotty just doesn't know.
He just doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
He doesn't know, I suppose. Someone should tell him. So, is there anything else that we missed that you want to talk about? I asked you about. Oh, there was one more question. That's right. I knew I was forgetting a question.
People are probably like, yo, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he playing with the table?
There's also
I have ADHD and there's like so much shit here. So as I'm talking, I'm like wiping the table up.
Sometimes we start these things and there's like a little hair on the table, or there's a coin on the table. There's all kinds of things. Yeah, there's this thing here. There's this little.
Yeah. I thought it was part of the table. He's been charging me nuts this whole time.
My next question I wanted to ask. I knew I had an extra question and I forgot it. So I hear a lot of guys that have more experience in pro wrestling kind of talk about how a lot of the newer guys and the guys that are training stuff, and girls as well, and this current generation of talent is kind of lacking a certain drive and motivation and competitive spirit that guys had years ago. And I'm wondering if you have anything to say to that from what you see here when you come to train at Warriors.
It's different now, man. Like, wrestling changes, bro. Like, wrestling's like, it's different now. Like, I was just talking about that a few minutes ago before we came back here for this interview. Like, I'm sorry, I like said that with my hand over my mouth. I was just talking about it a few minutes ago. And it's just like, it evolved, you know what I'm saying? When I started, right, I'm an old ass man now. I ain't scared. I'm 37 years old now, bro. I'm an old ass man. I started training when I was 14, 15. Like, I started training at such a young age. So when I started training, it was like you had to know somebody to get in there. And it was just so different, you know what I'm saying? And like, I was always a smaller guy, like considered a smaller guy, to where like, even at my height, like I'm not a short guy, I'm tall, but like 200 pounds at the time, even if I was 200 pounds, that 6'1", 200 pounds I was a manager, you know what I'm saying, at that time, like that's how you viewed. So now, you look at now, I'm 6'1", what am I, like 205 now? I haven't been in the gym, so I lost weight. So I'm like I'm fucking 6'1", 205, and I'm a bigger guy if I were still wrestling today.
Yeah.
So that kind of, you know what I'm saying, that kind of blows my mind. And it's like, also same time, it's like, I think of it like, it's like anything, bro. It's the hustle, the hunger. Back in the days, it was like, wrestling was more low key and harder to get into, to where now it's an open book. All you got to do is find your local spot. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, like, so since it was more low key before, you like, to get there you had to earn it. Like, you had to met somebody in the gym or something like that. So guys already went in with a certain look, to where now, not only that, everything was so like hidden and kayfabe. So
hidden and what? What was that word?
What?
Huh?
So it was different in the sense of people had to approach to be in it, to where now anybody can do it, but not saying anybody can make it. And I don't know, it's just,
anybody can attempt.
I don't knock it, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't wrestle no more, so you know what I'm saying, I can't really say much on it. But like, if I were to wrestle, yeah, granted, I could do all that hot fucking. I almost said something else that I should not say. I could do like the cool spotty stuff. Like, dude, look at my videos. Chris Banks, Google me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could do it like 450, 630s, and all that hot flying cool stuff. Like, but to me, it never made sense to just do it to where now I can do that, and it probably wouldn't make sense. But that's just me. But when I see it, I don't knock it. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time. Even like with students, like there's a million ways to do one thing, but there's one or two ways to do it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's wrestling. Like, you want to do what's gonna go with it. Whatever it's gonna evolve to, just go with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like how I feel about wrestling now is kind of irrelevant. For one, who the fuck am I? And two, I don't wrestle no more. But it's still like, I mean, do I like wrestling? Yeah, I like wrestling. I like where it's going, and it's cool that it evolves. And like, I hate to fucking say it. I hate to say it. I've been trying not to say it, but I'm gonna fucking say it. Guys are smaller now. That's what the fuck the business is. It's smaller guys. But so what?
It's not. It absolutely doesn't have to be, and I don't think it is a bad thing by nature.
Yeah, that's what I'm
all.
saying. So what?
So we have some smaller guys here that have more power than some of the bigger guys.
Yeah, yo, like I had fun with fucking E-Rock.
Yeah.
Because like E-Rock's young and he's small. when I was doing wrestling, I was thinking I was small. So like all the hot, flippy, jumpy shit, I'd be like, yo, try this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be trying to show it to because he's a smaller guy. So fuck it, if it works, why not? You know what I'm saying?
And he's a great example too because he's so strong and he's so technically proficient. And he picks guys up for that Olympic slam, that angle slam that he does. He's picked up Steeler for that. He's picked up Scotty for that. He's picked up big guys. Yeah.
Like that's what I was gonna say too.
He's legit.
He's also he's legit.
Could be that size.
He's
and
not
very
just
legit.
a professional. Like he's a legit wrestler. Like the guy's taking big guys down to the mat. Like he has trophies. He has medals and shit. Like he's a legit wrestler. Championships. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. Once again,
Absolutely.
Granted, guys are smaller and like it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, wrestling, blah blah blah, wrestling, blah blah blah, like. So what?
Old heads.
Old
heads.
Fuck it. Ain't nothing wrong with old heads, you young buck.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'll give you I'm not to be messed with. I'll give you one back.
I still have. No, but it's like.
Yeah, I feel you though. I hear you.
I don't knock it, bro, because it's gonna evolve. As long as, like right now, bro, wrestling is hot, man. Fans are into it. So if that's what the fuck they want, then give it to them, bro.
Hell yeah.
If the fan wants to see a locked up powerbomb followed up with a 450 into a headlock, fuck it, give them that.
That's what you're getting.
That's what you're getting. That made no fucking sense, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I think that is. I was going to say that's who we do it for, but I shouldn't say the we because I'm not an in-ring competitor. That's who the business is
but
for.
you're still fighting over what the fuck
that's
they're
what the
doing
industry
in the ring.
is for.
Bro, you're a commentator, correct or not?
Yes.
So guess what? If you don't say what I'm doing in that fucking ring, what I'm doing in that ring is pointless.
I didn't mean to. Yeah, I agree.
So you're as part of the match as the ref and the wrestler.
I didn't mean to demean my own role, but I'm saying that I think what is forgotten, whether it's commentators, wrestlers, refs, is that it's all for the fans at the end of the day. Because if it's not for the people paying the tickets to sit in those seats, who is it for? Yeah,
it's for the ticket sale.
For the ticket sale.
Ticket sale.
Hell yeah, ticket sale.
Ticket sale.
Is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to reminisce on? Any other stories you want to tell? I'm sure you have plenty before I get you out of here. Come on, a lot of questions.
I'm sure there's a lot of stories, and I can go on forever on here. Believe me, especially if it was like me and Joey interview, we would have this would be a 5-hour podcast.
Maybe that's what we have to do next.
A
little podcast episode / YouTube video where we wrap up with you and Joey.
That would be fun.
Joey B or Joey Ace?
Joey B. Or Joey B. Me, Joey B, Joey Ace doesn't fucking matter.
I would love to get like a round table going one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you want to have a good round table. I'll tell you the fuck it. If you want to have a good Warriors round table, have me, Dirtbag Dan, fucking BA Kid, Joey B, and fucking Camacho. And how many guys could be in this round table?
We'll say 6.
6. All right. Camacho and Bruiser.
Who? Camacho?
Oh, excuse me. I'll do it. I'll see it.
There we go. We'll leave that.
Like we can tell Warrior stories. Or yeah, I'll stay with those.
Hell yeah. Well, not the challenge, but the call out is made to those guys. Let's get that going. I would love to get that going. That would be an absolute pleasure.
That would be a fucking funny story. Bro.
Any last words? Any last words?
Any last words, brother? Well, tune into Warriors of Wrestling. Shout out to Warriors of Wrestling. Thank you for having me on. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody, man. And shout out to the wrestling world. Stay tuned with wrestling, man. Just keep watching it, keep supporting, keep showing love. And after this, Google Chris Banks.
Google Chris Banks. YouTube
Mr.
Chris
No
Banks.
Limits Chris Banks.
Right here on the Warriors of Wrestling YouTube channel. Click the link down below. Like, subscribe, and comment. I don't usually do that, but it felt appropriate for the moment. Mr. Banks.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure chatting, man. My pleasure.